Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. But hey, life goes on. And when you're married and you have a wife and you have kids, interruptions occur. So if you're married and have kids, you totally understand that. And as much as I like viewers on YouTube, um, you can trust me, I'm going to keep my wife happy at your expense instead of the other way around. Number one, my wife is 16 years younger than me. She's blonde, blue-eyed, and is gorgeous, and she's an awesome cook, and she doesn't care that I play games. So you can bet your bottom dollar or your last dollar I am going to keep her as happy as possible because she is just an awesome female. So what I was about to show you is a Madden bus service. I found that bus service can generate a lot of income, relatively low maintenance, and it's just easy to implement once your towns get up and running, and especially once you get the motorized coaches. It's just a good thing to start doing to get that little extra boost of income. And I guarantee you by 2000 I'll be making several million a year just on bus service. And I don't even know if I'll ever add passenger rail service because it can get real. You really have to have it fine-tuned to make money on hard mode. At least that's been my experience. I haven't played with a lot to really see what I have to do to make money, but I know I've had example where I'm running full lines constantly, fast lines, and I still lose money on passengers because you just don't get the same income. And I think I've heard people say that one of the things they do is cargo generates twice as much income as passengers, so it's easier if you run your cargo line back and forth at full cargo. It's easier to generate income there, whereas with passenger service it's a lot more difficult because you don't get the same amount of revenue per unit cargo, be it a goods or product or a person, per mile carried, and you just don't generate as much money. So easier to run buses. They almost guaranteed to make money as long as you have passengers who are willing to jump on them. The original road went out this way, so I built a road rather direct link because same as always, you get paid per distance as though it was a straight line, and I want to make this as easy as possible. Down here in Omaha, I was able to cover all my current residential buildings, almost my entire town, with my central bus terminal. And over in Cleveland, now this guy built a house out here. Obviously, I mean that would have to be the best placement ever to cover all of this. It's not going to happen. I guess I could put one right down here, but I tried to cover this side of town, and I'm just going to try to run basically from residential area, just not have an ancillary bus service for the moment. Later on I'll add that. And I'm ready to add I'm ready to define my line and start my service going. So this is pretty minor in the overall complexity of things, but right at the end of the game I'll show you, as I add bus service, how much money I ended up making per year on buses, and it's kind of amazing what you can do. Not as profitable as a train, but still it's going to be a decent amount of income. So I have my line, and what I will do, let's see. There's my depot. I think I'll start off. This is what I normally do, and it works out really well. I'll start one bus at this end and one bus at the other end. And it'll take a little bit of time for them to fill up both buses, and then once they do, I'll just slowly add buses and try to keep pace with the demand for passenger service that I get. They really don't have any other options other than walking or taking a POV back and forth, so I should get good demand fairly soon, and I'll be able to add more buses. And then that's just my initial bus line. Here in a little bit I'll move down here to the south in the 4 cities and go and start servicing here. And I don't know if I just want to go A, B, B, C, C, D, D, A, send one across the center. I'll probably just keep it simple and just provide service between neighboring towns and see how that works. I could get fancy and build a big loop where they go around in a circle, but trains, that works pretty cool on trains, especially if you're not in hard mode and you're doing passengers. A loop like this is awesome. Works really well, generates tons of money. But buses, I'll have to think about that. I've never tried it. Maybe I'll experiment. If I wasn't in a billion-dollar baby, maybe I would experiment and see. So we have that set up. Let's turn it back on. And I told you my wife is a music teacher in Dallas. Tonight is the first performance. I don't even know what grade it is. I think it's second grades doing like a PTA performance where they're going to play some instruments and sing some songs and dance for their parents. So in between the time school is over and kids start showing up to get ready for the performance, she gave me a call and we talked for a little bit. Then later on tonight when she gets home, I'm just going to jump in the van and we're going to go and get dinner along the way. And my youngest daughter, who is in 8th grade, has her first football game in middle school where she plays alto sax. They're going to go there and we're going to go watch her play. They don't get to march, they just get to play, but we'll go see her get to for the first time play at a football game, and she's real stoked about that. She can't wait until she gets to high school and plays in the marching band. But my wife, by the way, is also a tenor saxophonist, a very, very good tenor saxophonist. She went to one of the top saxophone studios in the country. If you are at all involved with saxophones in any way, you might recognize the name of Dr. Sampin, Bowling Green State University. That's where she went to school and graduated from. And at various times in her life, she's played in professional or semi-professional bands. She played in the Chesapeake Bay Wind Ensemble when she lived outside of D.C. And when we lived in Central Texas, she played in a swing band down there that played a lot of big band music, perfect for a saxophone, because there's a lot of jazz elements involved in that. And she's currently really looking to try to find a band up here in Dallas to play with. So my family's pretty musically inclined. I was more of an athlete than a musician, but everybody else around me loves music and plays music. I love music. I just aren't very good. I played for a year trombone my first year in high school, but I gave that up to run track because I ended up being a state champion in the half mile my senior year up in Pennsylvania a long time ago. I still have that school record somehow. My school record in the half mile is now 42 years old. I was pretty fast. So what are we going to do here? We're going to let the bus route get started. I actually have some passengers. He has 7 out of 9 people, so he's almost full already. Another person showed up just after he left. And over here at the other end, he's coming back with 9 of 9. More people waiting. So as you can see, this bus line didn't take any time at all to start generating passengers. Both buses are almost full, and I bet within a couple years I'm going to have to add 2 more buses because I'll have people waiting at the station. And then what I'll do is, let's check in down here and see how this is all working. Am I getting any fuel up to Anchorage? Not yet. Wait a second. Okay, yeah. Did I add in trucks? I may have been interrupted before I added trucks. No, here goes a truck. It looks like they're just getting going. They haven't even gone back and forth yet, is what it is. They haven't had time to complete a lap and get that demand flowing back and forth. So a little bit early to see how that's going to work. As soon as they get back, I think I'll start seeing product go back and forth. Hopefully I do. And look, I have a lot of fuel being queued up. Line 13 has 64 waiting. Oh my God. That's really great. I need to check something. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 64 waiting, and I got the capacity to almost meet that demand. Steam lorry can carry 6. I got 10 trucks. I can carry 60. I got 64 waiting. So you know what? I just want to add a couple trucks right now. Let's just say add 5 trucks. Like I said, maybe some of you theory crafters out there, I don't want to put it on my bus line, I want to put it on my freight line. Maybe some of you people out there who theory craft could measure out distances and speeds and all that and come up with a formula that will give you the ideal number of trucks per demand at the opposite end of the line. But I haven't looked in depth at this game yet. In the past I have looked at in depth at other games, specifically Dark Age of Camelot, because I used to play a Lurricane stealther back then for Hibernia and go out and kill people with my assaults in their back out of being hidden, and it used to piss them all off, and I had a great time. Now I'm having a bunch of trucks clog up here at once, but as this first initial wave of trucks goes through, just by the time it takes to go through the act of loading here, these will spread out over the road, and it'll be a lot more smoother once this wave of trucks smooths out. Or I shouldn't say smooth out, it'll be smoother after they spread out. So that's where we're at. These trucks are starting to carry fuel that way. Here comes 105 pieces of food. What the hell? What did I do? That's ridiculous. Okay, you go to the depot. Anybody see what I did? I made a huge mistake here, guys. He's good. Where's my other train on this route? Because I need to check him out now. He's good. Can anybody tell me what I did wrong on this train? Look closely. Easy to see. Put a tank car on here. He's running empty. He's never going to get a single product because there's no demand for oil on that route. So, dude, where are you at? Go to the depot now. Unable to find a path to the depot. Okay, turn around. He doesn't have a way to get into the depot. If I reverse him and send him to the depot, let's see if we'll go to the depot now. Cool. See why this is so nice when it's like this? All I did was reverse him. He goes into the depot. I'm going to have to sell off his old cars and put on box cars. Be gone. I'm not getting full credit for them. They're being prorated, but I just got a decent chunk of change back. Now I need to put on box cars, stupid person. Box cars. I'm carrying livestock and grain. Okay, get him back out on line 10. There's all kinds of easy mistakes when you're doing a whole bunch of stuff at once. It's easy to put the wrong thing in, especially when you're being distracted by other people you're not thinking. Fortunately, I already had a train running on that route, and as I just added this increased distribution capacity, it hasn't really hurt me too much. It is going to slow down how quickly I can get product to all 4 cities, but it's not really that bad of a problem. I'm up to 43 million. Even with this one train running empty, I continue to, let's see, 4.5, 3, and 3.5, so that comes out to 4 million a year with one train running completely empty. So this is going to add a little bit more. I continue to increase how much I make a year. I'm nowhere close to where I need to be, but again, at this point in time, what I have built is It's very promising. You make the majority of your money in the last 50 years because it takes that long to get your network up and running and capable of generating that much amount of income. In the last 20 years of your route of your 2000 going toward 2000, you really make a bunch of money if you have everything set up right. Now this is a little bit of a long route, but at the same time it's just short enough where you don't really want to run a train, because by the time you build an extension out here on the station, you have this extension, you have a train that never comes close to reaching full speed. I mean, probably not even half speed, and it just doesn't really help you out financially that much. Meanwhile, as the towns get bigger and as the trains on the main lines get bigger and haul back more product, my trucks are getting bigger, and it won't be that long. It'll be pretty long, but it won't be really long before I move up into the semis. From here we get the Mack truck, and then we get the Ford 66, and then I totally skip the Studebakers because they are cargo type specific and they're just a major irritation. And so in this case, if I stick with no, because look, I'm hauling fuel this way, I'm hauling food that way, and so if I use my Studebakers when they come out, I'd have to have a Studebaker for oil one way and a Studebaker for food the other way, and I'd need twice as many trucks. They'd all run empty halfway. So like most games, I'll do the same thing. I'll just skip the Studebakers because they're just a royal pain in the ass. I detest the Studebakers. I'm glad Studebaker went out of business. Just because of how they're treated in this game. They deserve to go out of business by forcing me to make truck choices. I know in real life they were a good thing. Actually, I like Studebakers in real life. I was sad to see them go. They were still making cars when I was born. So we'll let this run for a little bit. This other train's picking up product, and here in a little bit we'll look at how well this distribution's getting product to all 4 cities, and then I'll decide, do I need to add another train to max out the demand and meet all the demand, and then I need to figure out where's my next route going to be. At the same time, here's what I'm going to do next, and this will be the next episode. I'm going to extend this rail out here, make a longer train, because if you remember, this guy has a poor old engine right now. He needs to get completely upgraded. I want to add length so the increased speed won't cause oversupply here. I'll look at building buses down south, and then I'm going to try to find a nice, let's see, when I build the line out here, at the same time I'll probably build this line in this way and come this way, distribute food to Bakersfield. And then from there we're going to go on search of, in anticipation of bigger and faster trains, finding even longer lines to bring into the system and generate even more money, because I need a whole bunch of more money before I hit the year 2000. I only got 92 years left. I'll be back in a while.